Today we're going to talk about a story that shocked Hollywood and detectives didn't understand. Behind the walls of a quiet Santa Fe home, a terrible event happened that is still a secret. The famous actor Gene Hackman and his wife Betsy Arawakawa were found dead in their home. The weirdest part of this story may be that their loyal dogs are the only ones who know what happened. People who saw what really happened. If you're interested in unsolved mysteries and Hollywood deaths, make sure you watch until the end. I'll give you information about the investigation that you can't find anywhere else. What would you do if you came across a mystery that was so deep that not even the most experienced hunter could solve it? As a result, investigators were left wanting more information. This is exactly what happened when police went to the Santa Fe home of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakiwa. The only sound they could hear was the soft breathing of two dogs, Bear and Nikita, who were huddled together in the living room and didn't seem to mind that strangers were there. Deputy Martinez noticed right away something strange. Hackman's dog, which neighbors knew to be very protective of him, showed no signs of violence or an alarm bark for a dog that usually barks at passing delivery trucks. This calm acceptance of strangers in his area sent up red flags right away. Expert on animal habits, later Dr. Sarah Johnson said that dogs are very sensitive to changes in their surroundings and to their owner's feeling. The dog's lack of protective corpse, according to Bailey's response, whoever was in the house before the police arrived was someone the dogs knew and trusted. Bear would go crazy if someone he didn't know came near Gene. He was like a furry security system. The fact that he was just sitting there quietly when they found them is a sign that something wasn't right. The bodies of Hackman 95 and Arakawa 65 showed signs of having been dead for about 2 weeks before they were found. What led to the wellness check that led to this grim discovery was a missed date. Betsy didn't show up for a meeting with her financial advisor and didn't answer several follow-up calls. The methodical former fitness instructor did something very out of character, but Xena, a third dog in the house who was said to be very close to Betsy, was found in a bathroom closet, which was a place she had never been known to go. The position of her body raised questions for investigators, and a faint scratch mark on the inside of the closet door suggested she may have tried to escape. Neighbors remembered that Xena had been acting strangely in the weeks before the tragedy, following Betsy around and showing signs of distress. Maria Gonzalez, who had been cleaning for the couple, told investigators that Xena wouldn't let Betsy out of her sight, as if she was sending a message that something was wrong. Animals sometimes know things before people do. The dogs that are still alive, the person's actions after the event gave us more clues. Nikita, on the other hand, became shy and avoided areas of the house where she used to be active. These changes in behavior suggested that both dogs had seen or heard something traumatic that was bad enough to change their personalities. When dogs experience a traumatic event, their behavior often changes in ways that are similar to people with PTSD. Both Bear and Nikita's responses are very different. Bear becomes hypervigilant, while Nikita pulls away. Responses to trauma, no matter what happened in that house, these dogs saw it. At first, the official autopsy results didn't seem complicated. Gene Hackman died of atherosclerotic and hypertensive heart disease, which were both signs of his old age. Age of education, Betsy Araki's death was caused by atherovirus pulmonary syndrome, a rare but dangerous disease that is spread by rodents. There were a few troubling inconsistencies in these results that kept the case open. The first was the timeline security. Someone delivered a package 3 days after Betsy was thought to have died, and video from a neighbor's camera clearly shows someone accepting the package at the door. However, based on the results of the autopsy, Gene was probably still alive at this point and may not have known that his wife had died. Mr. Hackman was said to have advanced Alzheimer's, so it's possible that he couldn't understand what had happened to his wife. There are cases where people with serious cognitive decline keep doing the same things they always do with dead loved ones because they can't handle the truth of the situation. Another strange thing is that the dog's food and water bowls were almost empty when the police arrived, but not completely. Had someone been there to take care of the animals after Hackman and Arakiwa had died? Or had Hackman been able to feed them before he died, even though his mental health was said to be getting worse? Betsy's cell phone records showed that 4 days after she was thought to have died, her phone was used to send a text message to her sister. The message simply said, "Everything fine, call you next week." Investigators are still trying to figure out if Gan sent this message while she was lucid or by someone else. People in Santa Fe and Hollywood were shocked when they heard about Hackman and Araki's deaths. Neighbors in Hollywood said the couple was quiet and kind like Clint Eastwood and Francis Ford Coppola. Clint Eastwood's words captured the feelings of many. There was no finer actor than Gene, intense and instinctive, never a false note. He was also a dear friend whom I will miss very much. As for Bear and Nikita, they now live with Betsy's niece in Colorado, and veterinarians are still watching their behavior in the hopes that their ongoing trauma responses might give them more information about the last moments of the couple's lives. The dogs were the only living witnesses to what happened. Whatever happened in that Santa Fe home 6 months after it was found, investigators went back to the Hackman home with cadaver dogs to look for any evidence that had been missed. The search did not turn up any solid evidence, but one of the dogs showed interest in a spot in the garden where the ground had just been dug up. Later, disturbed digging only found a buried chew toy that was probably put there by one of the dogs. Finally, toxicology results said that neither Hackman nor Arakawa's deaths were caused by foul play. However, traces of prescribed Alzheimer's drugs were found in Hackman's system at levels that didn't match the right dose, suggesting he may have been either over or under medicating in his last days. Perhaps the most interesting piece of evidence came up 3 months into the investigation when a neighbor's security camera footage from a week before the bodies were found was recovered from Cloud Story. The footage shows an unknown vehicle pulling into the Hackman driveway and staying there for about 20 minutes before leaving. No one has come forward to say who the visitor was, and the license plate can't be read on the video. As the investigation continues, the quiet house in Santa Fe stands as a sad memory of lives well lived and questions still unanswered. Bear and Nikita, the quiet witnesses, still have secrets they can't tell anyone. The strange events surrounding the deaths of Gene Hackman and Betsy Arakawa remind us that even in cases that seem clear, questions can arise. Linger, what really happened in those last days? Did Gene know what was going on with his beloved wife? Who was the strange person caught on camera? We may never know all the answers, but as experts continue their work, one thing stays the same. Sometimes the most important people who saw what happened can't talk for themselves. If you found this deep dive into a Hollywood mystery interesting, please hit the like button. Also, please subscribe to our channel where we post new studies every day. Tuesday and Friday, let me know what you think about this case and what you think happened in those last days in the comments below. If you'd like to help fund more investigations like this one, click here. Your donation helps us keep finding the stories behind Hollywood's most intriguing mystery. Until next time, remember that sometimes the truth is stranger than any fiction Hollywood could make up.